You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Alright, this one's gonna be a little long, I know, but it's just me breaking down some things to y'all, talking to y'all. I feel like sometimes it's better when y'all can see my face. I am using a professional microphone and not the webcam mic. That's why it sounds like that, because those webcam mics sound like shit, and I'm about trying to give people decent quality. So with that being said, yeah, you know, I do have a professional mic, as y'all can see. You know, I'm not using this, I'm using a different one. So let's get into the topics at hand. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the Suicide Squad picture that was revealed. I'll put the picture on the screen real quick right here for you to see it. I'm gonna keep this brief because a lot of people who like Marvel and DC, like the fanboy, that shit looks whack. That shit looks like trash. People who talked about the Marvel Age of Ultron movie was whack, but they say this shit look hot. Get out of here. That shit look like trash. That like some B-movie shit. You saw the mess that happened with Joker. Niggas was putting Sonic tattoos on that motherfucker, dog. That's how much of a joke they was taking that shit for. The memes on him was insane last weekend. So yeah, y'all could calm that the fuck down. Yeah, the Avengers movie, let's talk about that real fast. I'm gonna keep it a stack, man. Scarlet Johansson, I mean, she can't do no wrong in my book. I think her action movies is dope. I would love to see her and Angelina Jolie, but I'm off track again. But anyway, I would like to see them do a movie. But yeah, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and the Vision were the best characters in this to me. But they kept saying it was gonna be about Hawkeye and the Hulk, and that whole Hawkeye thing was lame, honestly. Like that whole thing about he had a wife all this time. Wasn't he trying to get some skins in the first one from Black Widow? I was like, wait, how they go from that to that? But anyway, with that being said, I mean that movie was good. It could have been better, in my opinion. It could have been better. I mean, I see why people were saying certain things about it. The CGI in the beginning of it when they're in the snow is like, when Captain America throws the bike, that shit looks completely fake. I'm gonna be real. But I thought the movie was dope. I'm a huge Hulk fan. He's one of my top 3 favorite characters of all time as far as comic books go. I'm a huge fan of him. I wish they would have did more with him. I don't like the whole fact that the Hulk is still like a brainless dummy. I want to see the smart Hulk or the Great Hulk. I really want to see that. They said that he was going to be in the movie, but they cut him out. I was like, damn, I would like to see a different Hulk. I'm tired of the one Hulk that can't say nothing but he grunts. I want to see him talking like puny banner. I want to see all of that Hulk smash. I want to see that Hulk. So I don't like that. Now they're playing with the idea that he may have went into outer space. I don't know. Like Marvel has this funny way of connecting movies. Like I'm expecting to see Guardians of the Galaxy, just some rant for no apparent reason. You see Stan Lee in a Hulk's hand and he's like jumping past them in outer space, like flying by, just to put a cameo of him in there, because they do crazy shit like that. But can we get like a real Hulk movie this time, since y'all got him straightened out CGI wise? Let's get a Hulk movie. Let's get a Punisher movie. So yeah, I didn't give my thoughts on the movie because everybody and their mother did a review of it. People who don't even do movie reviews was doing it. So I try to be different over here. And I don't do everything just for views, but in my personal opinion, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was dope. I did not like, spoiler alert for the ending, I did not like Quicksilver dying. Like, don't get me wrong, that Quicksilver that is in the Age of Ultron compared to the one in the X-Men movie is buns. The X-Men one is definitely better in my opinion. And that was the one people was worried about because he had that Walkman and looked real cheesy. But he ended up being mad dope. But the Quicksilver in this one, he's cool, don't get me wrong. And the accent didn't bother me. But just the random, for no reason, death. That was lame. Like, for no reason, he just died. I was like, really? You could tell they did that just to have somebody die in the movie. So that was real corny. Like, I'm gonna be honest, that was so disappointing. When I seen him die, I was like, bruh, how random and unnecessary was that murder? So with that being said, man, I just want to put that out there. Yeah, that made me just like, And Ultron, his voice was dope, but the villain was just like, could have been better. I expected a little bit more from Ultron, so I was a little bit disappointed. And another thing that was weird about the movie, Jane, who played in the Thor movies, wasn't in this, and Pepper, Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't in it, the one who plays Pepper Potts. That was real corny, how they just was like, oh, well, yeah, she's in another city, and yeah, she's just not coming right now, and yeah. And I'm like, really, bro? Y'all, that movie was like so rushed. So I don't know, there was a couple things I didn't like about it. It was as good as the first one to me, and I definitely will be picking up the Blu-ray. But yeah, there's a couple of like hit and miss parts of the movie. The movie's good overall though, don't get me wrong, the action's there, the movie's dope. But as far as like the Hulk, I wanted more from the Hulk, man. I wanted more from him. The Vision picking up Thor's hammer is hilarious because he did it like numerous times in that movie. He was like, yo, my man, you forgot that. So I thought that was funny because if you know, when they tried to pick it up, he explained that an elevator could hold his hammer, and you know, a helicopter, he could put it in a helicopter and sit it down. So the hammer's actually looking at the Vision as an inanimate object, like an elevator or something. So that's the reason he's able to pick it up like that. It's not viewing him as a person, and if he tried to use it, I'm sure it would be like him using a regular hammer. It ain't gonna shoot lightning or nothing. So a lot of people was like, how come he could pick up the hammer? I'm pretty sure that was the explanation for that, for you guys that was like fanboying out about the hammer. So yeah, with that being said, let's continue and move on to other topics. Okay, a lot of people was bitching about the Batman season pass, and I did a video on that, and I just want to explain real quick what I meant by that. The reason I'm telling y'all to stop bitching about the season pass is because you don't have to buy it. You know, just like these other games, people, oh, it could have been on the disc, it could have been, it should have been. There's a guy who left a comment on my video, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, but he made a great point, and he brought up what I was trying to say. Games have been $60 for like 10 years now. Don't you notice that every console, the price of the game goes up, but with this generation it didn't? So they found a way to give you the game for $60. But then if you want more of the game, or the full, because let's keep it real, they definitely are not giving us the full game. I'm not going to sit here and try to white knight or defend that. They're not. But if you want the full game, you got to give them that extra $20 to $40. You know what I mean? That's just the era we're in. You have a choice to just play the basic game. Some of you guys are saying, oh, I'm going to wait for the year one, the Game of the Year edition. Shadow of Mordor is bringing out one tomorrow, I think. So it does happen. But I'm like this, man. I'm not going to wait a year to play a game I want to play, and I know Batman is probably going to be one of the few games that's worth getting the season pass. As a matter of fact, for you guys that have PC, you can buy Batman Premium Edition, which is the one that PlayStation selling for $100 with all the DLC for the next 6 months. You can buy that for PC for $35 right now. And shout out to Hard 8 Times, because he actually put me on to that, and I ran over there and bought that joint. So I got that ready to load and go when the game comes out. So I'm still going to be getting it for PS4, but at least now I got that locked and loaded, so I don't got to go spend $100 for the DLC. I could play it in 4K on my PC for $30, and I could have the PS4 version just to have it, because I want to collect it. You know, I know they're going to remake the other two Batman's, excluding Origins. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm going to get those as well. So I definitely want to have the collection, so I decided to get it for PS4, since I know it's not going to be 900p Xbox, and it's not going to have any issues. And you know, they pretty much, I always get the game for the console that they pointed towards. Like Destiny was pointed towards PS4, and we both know that was because Halo's been synonymous with Xbox. So they wanted to make Bungie wanted to make a game that would go, hey guys, you PlayStation guys could check this one out. So I get that. Batman is pretty much being promoted as a PlayStation game. So whenever you see game developers do that, you kind of got to understand that that's kind of where you want to land at, because that's the one that they're going to be giving exclusive stuff to, early stuff to, promoting more, doing better things for. They're going to try to patch it more correctly. Like a great example of this is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is the official game for Xbox One for tournaments. So look what happened when it came out for PlayStation and it updated, it was bricking on people's systems. Why was it bricking on PlayStation and not Xbox? Everybody got a clue that that was going to be the case when they came out and said, yo, Mortal Kombat is going to be the game that we choose to play on Xbox for tournaments. So that kind of lets you know right there that they're gonna kind of lean more towards Xbox support for the game. So that's the reason I'm a multi-platform channel, because I want to play my games with no issue. Now, off the subject, onto something funny. Last night I wanted to catch up on The Witcher, so I decided to install The Witcher 2 from Steam on my computer. Yo, word to my mother, that shit gave me a virus. The shit gave me a virus from Steam. I installed it, it wouldn't work. I kept researching for like 2 hours. It was so bad, my head started hurting, man. I had to go lay down. I was tight, because I hate when I can't figure something out. So I was like, yo, what is making it not boot? Everyone kept going back to the fact that a file was missing and that the virus protection was deleting a file that kept the game from booting. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? Me thinking I'm a fucking genius, I said, I'm gonna turn off my virus protection, uninstall the game, and reinstall it. Sure enough, after 30 minutes of doing that shit, the game booted up. Tell me why when the game booted up and every time I tried to load up like my capture software or anything while the game was playing, my whole computer would go into a stasis lock. The only thing I could do was bring up my task manager and I couldn't see it. And this shit happened 3 times. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was pissed. I had this computer 3 years and I ain't get no virus. I was pissed. Yo, it gave me a fucking virus. I was like, wow, that's why my virus software, it was telling me, nah, chill, dog, chill. It was protecting me from a dead-ass virus. Steam and The Witcher 2 gave me a virus last night. So I had to pretty much try to do a system restore. The virus was mad aggressive. It was like, nah, dog, nah, you holding this L, eat that. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to reboot. So I went in my registry, I saw what changes was made, I redid all the changes. I uninstalled and wiped that fucking game out of the computer. Then I restarted the computer and I ran a virus protection, and sure enough, it found some shit that was all of a sudden new in there. One was a malware adgen, and yeah, the other one was some kind of browser shit, and I got all that out of there. I deleted all that, and then I restarted the computer, and now my computer's back to normal. So I wanted to warn you guys, that shit was crazy, and a lot of people had this problem. I was like, wow. So PC gamers, don't be talking shit, because y'all got y'all issues too. I know on PS3 and Xbox 360, nobody had that problem playing The Witcher 2. Now granted, it looks pretty on PC, but look what that shit, look at the cost to be the boss right there. And apparently not everybody had that problem, but I damn sure did on my rig. And guess what? It was so bad, I uninstalled that shit. I'm never touching The Witcher. Matter of fact, that was so bad, I'm not even buying The Witcher 3. Because the only system I could see it working on properly is PS4. Because Xbox is not even going to have the 1080 version, which is another fucking nutso thing. But hey, you know, whatever. Now, moving on to this whole Xbox and PlayStation 4. Everybody's talking about the sales. The sales of Xbox and PlayStation is at 22 million. Congratulations to Sony. Congratulations to all the Sony fanboys out there. Y'all know I primarily go for Xbox, but I'm gonna keep it real and I'm gonna make a confession. I'm changing my mind on that, and it's not to say, oh, I'm switching over to PS4, because, and y'all wanna, I'm looking over at my PS4, my Xbox. I'm not switching over to PS4 per se, but Xbox has become my last source of gaming, because right now, if I turn on my Xbox One and I try to capture a video match for YouTube for you guys, my Connect died. This shit was crazy. I'm gonna explain this and I'm talking about the Connect. Cause another YouTuber made a video about that. That shit's strange. That's another thing that a lot of Xbox fans ain't telling y'all. But I'm gonna talk about it in a second. So yeah, if I try to capture a match, I could take my professional mic and plug it into my PS4 and use it. I can't do that with my Xbox. So if I plug in a headset, none of you guys can hear what's going on unless I plug in a microphone to my computer and I record my voice. But if you plug in a headset, then it's gonna be like you hear all that other stuff in the back. So all you would be able to hear is me talking, and the music, you won't be able to hear who I'm talking to and what's being said, and that's lame. And on PlayStation, they give you like so many options. You could just straight up and down plug a USB mic into the PlayStation and you could talk to people. And if you have another mic, you could plug it into your computer and record everything, no problem. So I don't know, Xbox got a lot of things they need to straighten out. And in my personal opinion, I still believe what I said before. This Xbox looks like it wasn't meant to come out until November of 2015. I told you guys when it came out in 2013 that I believe they rushed the system out That's why it's so far behind. It's not doing 1080. It's not doing 60 frames. Now, people are claiming that the DX12 will do that, but here's the problem with the DX12. A lot of game developers may not want to use it because Sony is so far ahead of Xbox that if they decide to do that, then yeah, it's like, what do you think? Put it this way, I'm gonna give you a great example. Sunset Overdrive sold 500,000 copies, and Bloodborne sold 1 million copies. If somebody makes a game, who do you think they're gonna prefer? They're gonna prefer the one that sells the most, unless they got paid directly from the company. So Tomb Raider was made on DX12 or DX11, and it was geared towards Windows, so it became more of a timed exclusive. I don't think it's an exclusive. I think it's a timed exclusive to Xbox. And if it's definitely not timed exclusive, it's gonna come out on PC, which is gonna be way better than the Xbox version anyway. So with that being said, it's like, yo, game developers are probably gonna go, I'm not doing that. Now down the line, that can change, just like we saw with 360. 360 used to be considered really shitty hardware, but everybody was making those games for DX9, and they was making it for Xbox because it was easier and porting into PS3, and PS3 was losing because they were always getting that 720 and Xbox was getting that 1080. Even though they weren't real native 1080 games, it just looked slightly better in a lot of cases because it was getting a 1080 push. And you know, PlayStation was like 720, here you go. And now the tables have turned. So you guys, you know, hoping and praying that Jesus is going to come and do direct X12, good luck with that, because the steam that Xbox has put between them and PlayStation, man, listen, I don't know. We already 3 years going, pardon me, it's 2015. We're going on 2 years into the consoles, and we still ain't even see 1080 on Xbox. This is insane. So I have to be honest, I've been on my PC chilling, and I'm like happy because I see such a difference in options. I get my 60 frames, I get over 60 frames, I get my 1080, my 4K, and yeah, when I go to Xbox, I'm getting somewhere. The problem with that is when I go to my Xbox, I'm not even getting 1080, fam. It's like so hard to go back down to that. So, you know, with that being said, man, I don't know what to tell you guys. So, you know, I'm glad some of you guys stuck around to hear me talk about these issues real quick. This is just some of the things I wanted to talk about real fast. I'm not going to make this long. This is not no special type of series or nothing. It's just me talking to you guys about some of the stuff that went on my channel and what's going on. And yeah, this is what to look forward to. Now I got to go check on this E3 situation. It's already getting late. Let me get out of here, guys. Yo, y'all be good. You know, I'm looking at the time. Yeah, I got to go. It was nice talking to y'all. If y'all made it to the end of the video, thank you. Do leave a comment on any of these topics I talked about and let me know what you guys think. I'm out of here. Deuces.